All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of Content Creators University. For those of you who do not know me, well, my name is JP. I go by JP Hightek, and I am a software developer, branding expert, cinematographer. I help entities, business individuals, how to improve their branding, having an impactful visuals, and also how to master their live stream with the best live streaming solutions that you can get. All right, understanding the tools and the technology behind it. That's what I do. So I want to welcome you here. This is Content Creators University, like I said, and our motto here is create, impact, and innovate. All right. This is a university. So like another day here, we always receive one of the best minds or professionals in the industry, people with true expertise to share in order for us to learn. All right. I call them professors. So we have another professor in the place, in the building today. Very excited to have him on board so we can talk about a topic that may or may not be of interest to you, but I'm pretty sure if you create content, this is something you do not want to miss. This is a conversation that matters to every single content creator. And when we're talking about content is everything. We're talking about podcasts, all right, series, videos with cinema, or even on YouTube or anything you're doing in today's digital world, that is content. Well, gear is a big part of content creation, but the way we use our gear could be a hindrance. And we need to understand, when is it too much? When can we say, okay, this is enough, we need to stop? Well, a lot of cool stuff that we're about to talk about today with our guest. But before we do that, I want to remind those of you that are new that this show is sponsored by RTN Streams. And RTN Streams is your best solution as a decoder. So for example, right now I'm using Ecamm Live to broadcast my stream. Well, Ecamm is your encoder, but you need a decoder in order to receive that, for example. And if you want to embed it into your application, for example, this show is aired on my Roku TV application and my Amazon Fire TV application simultaneously as I'm going live on YouTube, Facebook, and my website, jphightek.com. So if you want to do something like that, you need a solution, and RTN Streams is a solution for you to use. Or let's say, for example, you want to have your personal webinar or seminar premium. Well, guess what? Ecamm doesn't allow you to embed the stream onto any platform. You need RTN Streams or a solution similar in order to get that done, all right? So let's go ahead and run the ad for the sponsor, and we'll be right back. Let's go. You saw that. Yes, sir. You saw it properly on the video. RTN Streams provide you with some awesome, dope overlays. So if you're looking for some free, 100% free overlays, just like the one you're seeing in this video that I'm digging, well, go over to rtnstreams.com, get yourself some free high quality overlays, improve the visuals that you have going on for your video or your content creation, your live streams and things like that. And enjoy, folks, provided by the sponsor. Really, really loving that. All right. Before I bring my guest over here, let's talk about who else will be on the Content Creators University next. We have some dope and amazing lineup. Let's go ahead and take a look at those right here. So the next guest on here will be Kirk Nugent, and Kirk Nugent will be right here on June 2nd, right? So we can talk about the best things to do in order to overcome camera or stage fright. Very, very important. And there's a way to do things like that. And there's a few things to understand. And he's a professional in the industry. Very excited, looking forward to that conversation. We also will have Lenita hosting here on June 8th. Lenita will talk to us about virtual events, how to the best way to impact, right, translate an emotion through the screen to the person watching your virtual events, so that it can be memorable and so that you can, transform lives and make a true impact onto a community and a people. So looking forward to that conversation with Lenita hosting on June 8th. And we will also have Katie Fox right here, Ecamm marketing director, Katie Fox, to talk about Ecamm, right? We want to learn more and know the philosophy behind everything and what's making eCam so amazing, and so many people are loving it, and why this is a game changer if you're a content creator in this generation, right? So loving the topic and looking forward to her coming onto the show here so that we can talk about it. We'll also have Keely Dunn. Keely Dunn's going to talk to us about mobile setup, right, and gear. We'll be taking a look at behind the scenes with her and the best gears to use and understanding the mobile setup and how to properly set things up. I mean, guys, we have some amazing conversations coming up. We also have Monty. Monty will be here with us to talk to us not just about Amazon Live, but how to get those brand deals, right? If you're a content creator, you want to know how to make money, how to get those deals, those brand deals, and showcase those things, monetize all that, and keep adding up and leveling up your live stream. So he's going to give us the secret, right? It's the strategies he's using. Looking forward to learning from him as well. And we will have Jillian. Jillian will be on the show here with us on June 16th, right? Very, very awesome. Jillian will be talking to us about the business mindset, all right? How to have a proper business mindset behind our content creation, whether you're a YouTuber or you just design things online or you're a podcaster. Well, there's a business mindset to have in order to maximize on your profit and maximize in everything you're doing. She's going to talk to us about that. Looking forward to it. Very excited. We'll also have Tube Buddy in the house, right? Represented by Rob Balasabas. I call him Rob Tube Buddy. That's why I put that on the screen. Really, really excited to have him join us here so we can not only talk about Tube Buddy, but also talk about how to start a YouTube channel and make money in this generation. You need to understand the requirements and the need. There are certain things that if you don't do them right, you will fall short. So many billions of channels are created every day. Not everybody can make it. You need to understand why. What am I doing wrong? What's the best thing to do? Looking forward to that conversation with Rob here on the channel. So subscribe, folks. Subscribe. Awesome things happening. We also will have Heather Ramirez. Heather just creates on her YouTube channel. Heather's going to talk to us as well about content creation, how to stay inspired, right? How not to burn out and stay inspired and keep creating. Think about that. Very, very awesome things I want to learn. Enough about all that. We have somebody in the backstage right now about to come on stage. His name is Doc Rock. And Doc Rock, he's a professional in the industry. He's a thinker, right? He loves disturbing the best way. I call it the way we're traditionally geared to think, right? And he thinks outside the box. And today we're talking gear. Can having too many gear hurt you? Well, let's talk about that with him right after this intro that I put together for you guys today. For those of you learning how to know more about JP, well, check this out. Hopefully you like it. We'll be right back. I had a lot of fun putting that together for you guys. Hopefully you like it. If you like it, go ahead and smack the like button at the bottom there. Show some love in the comment section. Let me see what you guys think. I want to take the time before I bring Doc over to welcome the folks that are joining us live here. Hey, Jermaine, Steve, how you doing? Rob Values, I appreciate you joining us here. Cree, hey, Team Windsor, what's going on? I appreciate you guys commenting and showing love in the comment section. That's pretty dope. So, hey, Doc, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
What's happening? What's happening,
hey,
people?
Man. Another day, another day.
We got a lot of our family hanging out with us in the chat. So welcome, everyone. Good to see you here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Doc, I'm excited about this conversation. I mean, like the other day we were together on a different stream and I was saying, you know what, Doc, every single time I mention something, you have it in your backpack. You have it arm's reach somewhere where you have something to say about it. I mean, that's amazing. Now, everybody can do that. And I was like, you know what, there's no better person to talk about gear than you because you've used a lot of them. You've build an experience, and you still, like you were telling me earlier, you still purchasing new gear to do some testing with Acam in order to provide value to the people. So before we get into all the details, for the folks that don't know you, can you please take a minute, introduce yourself to them?
Yeah, well, I'm a content creator. I'm content creator coach. I teach people how to do all things content creator related. I have a wide experience when it comes to the gear. Why? Because I worked in radio, worked in television, sold broadcast equipment for close to 30 years. When camcorders came in three pieces. Yeah, so I know this stuff because I've been around it. My family owned the electronic store, so we sold this kind of gear. So yeah, but my number one thing that I guess I do besides that being community manager for Ecamm and helping us work out deals with hardware manufacturers and things like that is I try to take all of your stupid excuses and just erase them from your face because I can't stand them. They get on my nerves. So selfishly, I want to slap all of them out of your face so you don't say dumb stuff that stops you from being good. And
Hey,
I'm
folks,
pretty hardcore about it.
that is Doc
So
for you. Doc is
I'm a
loved.
drill sergeant.
Hey, let me welcome, hey, Keely, FH Umpire,
No,
Umpire, FH
Humphreys.
Umpires, all right?
She
Let me
gets
say it
so mad
correctly
when you
again.
say that.
FH Umpires. Hey, that's
Yes.
Keely, folks. I just announced her earlier. Keely's going to be with us on the channel to talk about mobile gear. Very excited to have her on. But Doc, hey guys, this is Doc for you, right? Doc is down to earth. He's straightforward. He tells you how it is. That's why we love him. We love him for that. And whenever he goes on, he goes live into the community. When I say community, I'm talking about the Ecamm community that we're broadcasting live right now. Well, he connects with you. He's real, and that's what I appreciate. So, Doc, before we even talk about gear, a couple of things that I would like to ask you, and I know will be a blessing for the viewers of the channel. There've been many live stream softwares, right? And I know you've seen a lot of them. Why is it that you decided to identify so much with Ecamm and not Wirecast or another software, right? OBS and all
I
that.
use
What's so
Wirecast for over
special
a
about it?
decade. I use Wirecast for over a decade. Like straight up over a decade. Paid $1,000 a pop for that software for over a decade. When you run into a trouble or you run into something, you submit your support ticket, you'll get your support or whatever, but you're just another body. You know what I'm saying? Like you just literally another body. No one can say that at Ecamm because we got like, hey, the community is out there just like helping folks out. But I mean, from the very beginning, when I was in testing Ecamm, okay, uh, I got it. I was messing around with it for literally about 2 hours, and I said, okay, I'm just going to buy it. This is legit. I'm not even going to deal with the little rubber stamp icon in the corner, all of that. I went straight to buy it. My trial lasted about 2 hours, and then I'm in the community just testing things out, practicing or whatever, and all of a sudden someone said, hey, like how are you making your thing look so clear? And I'm like, oh, I use a Camlink 4K and Sony A6400. And then somebody said, oh, Sony A6400 overheats. And I'm like, you smoking weed? No, I don't. Let me show you how to fix it. And then I started showing people like how to do it. So everybody's like, well, I'm gonna go get a cam link. And then the guy came back to me in the same stream and was like, oh, cam link is like $600. And I was like, what? No, it's not. It's 120. But I hadn't looked. So I went to go look
Right,
and
right.
cam links were out. I swear to
Sold
you,
out.
that conversation happened for about a day and a half. About the third day, Ecamm was like, we did some change to the software, update to this version. You can just connect via USB. Sold in
Wow.
the story. Done. Like nobody's moving like that in this industry. OBS is dope. It is the best free software in the planet. Ask for an update and see how long it takes.
He does take a long time. That's true.
Because there is no ownership. It's an open source. Open source is dope until it isn't. Like I got it. If you don't have any funds whatsoever, fine, use it. But a lot of people use that I don't have any funds excuse to stop from doing stuff, right? A lot of people say they don't have money to put into this. No, you don't have the money that you're not valuing this enough to put the money into it because half the people, not all, I got it, there are very special circumstances. So those are special. But most of the people say that will stop that and then be like, well, I can't stream today. My system sucks. I don't have this. Go to the mall and buy a $300 Supreme t-shirt.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just saying.
So in other words, what I got from there is pretty much is not necessarily about not only about the quality of the software, but about the service, the community, the support,
It's the
everything that
community.
surrounds the
I work for
product.
ECAM. People say, what's the best feature? I'm like, the community. They're like, no. Like, what's the best feature? Like, can it do this? Can it? Like, the best feature is the community. Period. In the story. Ken and Glenn
That is
could
true.
do all the developing in the planet, but what they have fostered, besides, because development changes, bro. Like October, Apple said, "Buy Intel M1. Here we go." So that kind of stuff changes on the fly. But you know what can change? 16,000 people that's down to help each other, basically no matter what, to get the job done.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I usually tell people one thing that, in business, as a business owner myself, I tell people always that, customers may not remember necessarily what you told them, but they will definitely remember how you made them feel. And here's all
Call it
about
back.
how Ecamm community is making us feel. I mean, it makes you feel at home. It makes you feel part of an ecosystem. It makes you feel part of a big giant family, and it makes you just want to connect with other folks. And the good part about it is that, and it allows you to discover so many talents, so many experiences from across various platforms, and that helps increase the value of the product more.
Yes.
And that's one
Yes.
aspect that I like
Is a
about
very
you.
good at surprise and delight. That is something that we used to say at Apple all the time when I worked at Apple. But yeah, they're very, very big on surprise and delight. Let's just make this happen. And I see Sylvia in there, and I mean, we couldn't do half the things we want to do without Sylvia. Marketing department, we have a crazy idea. We call Sylvia and Andrew, and they're like, yeah, we got that. And then it's done. So, we just one day say, hey, let's make 4,000 shirts. Okay. Next day, Andrew's like, I could do that. I'm Jamaican. 4,000 shirts. Give me an hour. It was like that. Like, boom. Next, everybody's getting packages in the mail going, oh my God, I got my shirt. Woo. Like, I love that kind of stuff, fam. Like, that's just, yeah, it's hard to explain to people, but, is VMix better? Who cares? No. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, I am pretty sure that, Emerald Lagasse could make a better gumbo than my grandmother, but I'd rather eat my grandmother's
Hey, I hear
because
you.
of, you know what I'm saying? Like what it is. So that's where it is. Like our community is our community. We're tight and we love it.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who do not know, folks, if you're never heard of Ecamm before, Ecamm is a live streaming software only available on Mac. And if you want to try it out, I do have a 15-day free trial in the comment section. Go ahead and use the link. Try it out. Check it out. It will change your life. It's phenomenal. And what we're discussing here is the community behind on Facebook. Check out for Ecamm community and see what it's all about. It's a fantastic group. Hey, Sylvia Dixon, appreciate you. I like what she says. Boom, all for the family. Love you all. We love you too. I appreciate you joining the live stream. And Kevin Cox, thanks again for joining in live. Let's
Teach.
go. Let's go. So now, Doc, in
Yes,
your
sir.
opinion, what does it mean to have too many gear? When can you say you need to stop? Like when?
I have two answers for that. You're not gonna like either one of them. The first answer is never, because you should always try to improve, right? But the second answer is after the first piece you bought that you didn't learn how to use and you didn't put to effect right away. If you buy something, regardless of what it is, you need to put it into action right away. See if it works for you. If it works for you, put it into play, use it, do whatever, right? If it doesn't, you get to be able to turn it right back around and send it back to where it came from and then recoup your costs. I can't stand when people say, I bought so-and-so and I wasted money on it. At a minimum, you have 14 days to figure it out, to decide it wasn't for you and send it back. If you
Mm-hmm.
bought it and it didn't work and you didn't send it back, that's on you, right? Uh, a lot of places, if you're at Best Buy, right, you get 30 days, you get 45 if you're an elite, right? Well, how do you get to be
Mm-hmm.
elite? Buy more gear. Like, so, I mean, I think what a lot of people do, they buy a piece of gear and then they plug it up and then they use it and they don't read the instructions, they don't watch any tutorials, they don't learn how to do it, they don't join the requisite community. You know what I'm saying? So I know we got people right now on the Rodecaster Pro that thinks the Rodecaster Pro has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sound banks. No, the Rodecaster Pro got 99 pages times 8. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
could put in damn near 1,000 sounds into this thing, but they don't. I didn't know you could do that because you didn't crack the manual. I don't like manuals. Fine. Did you watch Tom Buck? Tom who? You're on your own, right? Did you join the Rodecaster? Rodecaster has a Facebook group. Dude, there's a Facebook group for this cable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, don't buy it and then don't figure out how to use it and then go in the community and be like, I bought this thing and it sucks. No, it don't. You suck. Sorry.
So in
I'm
other
brutal.
words, Doc,
I'm brutal.
in other words, right? Let's see if I got it right. In other words, it doesn't hurt to buy more as long as you fully understand and maxed out the features of the one you currently have. Will that be correct?
Kind of. I mean, you don't have to max it out. You got to get the feature that works for you. Okay, like Alton Brown used to say, I don't like unitaskers. Like what he meant by that is a piece of gear that you would put in your kitchen that can only do one thing. But if your only goal was to make andagi, right, which is an Okinawan donut, super delicious. You guys may not have had one when you come and visit me. Trust you're gonna have. Um, the thing that you use to scoop to make the perfect size andagi, uh, just think of it as a round cornbread for my black people. Um, you might only use it just for that, but it makes it perfect size to enjoy this. So then you go and buy it. It's a $20 thing. You're only going to use it for one thing, but it's the only way to do it right. So in that case, a unitasker is fine, right? You don't have to know any other task for it or any other features or learn any special tricks. If it can move the needle, if it can help you with your clients, it can help you close deals or whatever, then you need to buy it. And most of the time, the number one piece of gear that you need to upgrade exists between here and here.
Well, appreciate that. Now I understand what you mean. But there are folks, right? There are folks that will have an equipment. For example, let's be more specific. Live stream, okay? Using DSLR to go live, you'll be hearing on several, channels, several platforms. Like you go into YouTube University, for example, and you want to, learn about the best DSLR to use, and then you hear on a certain most channels they'll be telling you to go for the Sony ACC 100 with a 16,
It's a mirrorless camera.
Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4, in order to get the best. All right, so you go ahead and purchase
But
that, right?
Sony hasn't sold the DSLR since 2013.
Yeah,
It's a mirrorless camera.
it's a
So
mirrorless camera
you,
if you want to be specific. Yeah,
no, you have to be specific. I'm
that's
gonna
true.
I'm gonna beat people in their head until they get it right. Why? Because if you call it the wrong things, when you go to get your answers, you're gonna get the wrong answers,
You're gonna
and
get
then you're
wrong
gonna
answer. That's
buy
that's true.
something, and then you're gonna not be happy because it didn't do what you thought it could do. So some people in the group are telling people to get a DSLR to put a camera 100 feet in the back of the church. DSLRs, I mean, mirrorless don't do that. A DSLR will do that all day.
DSLR does that. Yep.
Mirrorless is not designed to be that far back there, right? It's a different task. It's a different thing, different style lens elements and things like that. I mean, so again, you can't. The best way I can describe this, you definitely would not want your surgeon to like step up and has never cracked a surgery manual, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
people in one sentence will say, well, I'm trying to do all this. Why do you want to do that? Because I want to look professional. Okay, cool. In order to look professional, and I'll come back to that, in order to look professional, you're going to have to know these many things. Well, I don't want to know all of that. You said professional. There's not a single profession that is shortcuttable. Like, even if you wanted to be a high class hoe, there's some stuff you need to know in order to be good at it so you don't get in trouble or don't get caught or don't get killed or don't. So every professional, including the oldest one in the business, requires a certain level of knowledge. So the thing that chaps my lips the most, I was going to say something else, but I'll be nice to you, is I want to look professional. Don't look professional, damn it, be professional. You have to know certain things. There's no shortcuts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, you need to
even
build a
even to ask the
foundation.
right question, even to ask
Right.
the right questions, you have to study a little bit. Yes, we do make this easy. Yes, we make some things attainable, but then once you attain it, you still have to study it. It's easy as pie to go have a kid, but you got to
See,
learn
that's
how to be a
where
parent.
a lot of people will fall short because they will not take the time to study. Not only study, but run tests, right? You have to run tests. You have to,
Thank you.
test it over and over and over to make sure, because you cannot just take somebody else's word for it and say, this is how you do it. And you never ran enough tests and you're using that on a major event going live, and now you're going to figure it out. Well, guess what? There's always a learning curve. You might have a hiccup somewhere, like earlier today, right? When you were coming in, there was one little thing where you were calling into Ecamm before I even turning on the interview mode, but it was just as little as add to write, right? I signed to
Yeah.
write, and then that fixed the audio where I was able to hear you. Now, that little tip will have never been known if no test experiences were
But
followed
see,
that,
now
right?
that you know that tip, you can use that tip whenever you want. But see, you will never get to know that tip if you don't do the practice parts, right?
Correct.
My new thing now, I figured this out a couple days ago. Maybe it was on our call. How many people willing to step in the plane with a pilot who has never flown a simulator?
That's a good way to put it. Yep. Yep.
Right?
Nobody. Nobody. I mean,
Not a dang one of y'all. Stop lying. Not a dang one of y'all.
nobody.
It's like, oh, this is your pilot, JP. This is my first time stepping in his cockpit. So I'm gonna press a couple of these buttons and I'm gonna try to get us to Cleveland. And you're like,
I'm
what?
getting
The
out.
hell no! Get me out of this plane. You know what I'm saying? So I think in a nutshell, what it is that when it comes to gear, a lot of people think that gear is going to solve their issues, but you can't just throw. There's some things you can't just throw money at. It just doesn't work. Now, you could, if you got that kind of money, hire somebody to do it for you. Oh, that's okay. And like, if you really, really determined not to want to do it, then you have to hire somebody to do it for you. But I think what everybody wants to do is they want to get in, and even if I can get you the best gear in the world at like a $200 investment, you know what half the people would say? $200? I don't want to spend $200 for that. Then why are you trying to be a streamer?
Yep. Yep. Very true. I like what Kevin is saying. Kevin says that if you want to be professional, you have to be professional, just like you said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to
It's all
actually
about.
be looking professional is BS. Why are you lying? That's what I say. When people say I want to look professional, how about just be professional? No, I get that, I
Right.
get that. But for right now, I want to look. So you want to lie to people? Don't lie. No. But like, I'm new to this. Okay, let people know you're new to this and come out the gate. Hey, I'm new to this, but I got some information for you. You know what nobody would care about? No one would care about your looks, your lighting, your camera, your none of that, because you confessed that you are new to this. So now I'm going to ignore that. I don't have that expectation of quality from you. I just came to hear you tell me how I can make $1 billion on NFTs.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that because there's got to be a clear distinction between, you know, being professional and upgrading your quality, whether it's audio, microphone audio quality, whether it's camera, buying a better lens. Upgrading your visual quality is not has nothing to do with being professional. You can be professional on
Nope.
your cell phone and doing a live
100%.
stream just with your phone and still be
100%.
professional. So
100%.
the gear doesn't make the person professional. The gear does
Nope.
not produce the content for you. If your
Nope.
content is already not good, Whether you have the most expensive gear or not, it will stay the same. Yes or no, Doc?
100%, 100%. So that's again, and it's the key. There are people out there right now. Uh, Back in the beginning of like maybe this time last year, Brent Collins was doing his streams with a 2012 MacBook Pro and a crusty old Panasonic, and it was perfectly fine because of his content was good because he had the experience or whatever to know how to do the content. And then there comes this conversation as well. I didn't have the experience. Well, how many streams have you done since you confessed you don't have any experience? Well, I haven't. Well, you still have no experience. See, had you done 10 streams since the first time you confessed you had no experience, now you'd have experience. So at some point, you got to just cave in. Like, I got my phone, I go outside, I am using Apple headphones as my speakers and monitors, and I'm live. Do 10 of those, now you got experience. Do 5 of them. Matter of fact, you do 2, you got experience. But sitting down there reading a bunch of stuff and chatting in all the comments and complaining about why you can't, no, you still stuck exactly where you started, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's easier to just do it and then figure out what you really want after you've even tried it. Because sometimes, in the last year this time, I had all 4 cameras going, switching, doing all this other stuff. And you know my favorite joint right now? This
What's
one
that?
camera right here. I do have an overhead shot that I use occasionally, but I'm down to just this one camera, that one camera. But in the beginning, I had all these cameras set up. I had my camcorder, I had my A7 III, I had my A6400, and I had my A6100. My A6100, I gave it to my niece, and then I even bought this because I was going to add another camera. But you know what the ZV-1 does? It stays ready to go outside, so I can take stuff outside. So I barely even use this for streaming anymore because you don't
I mean, there's
necessarily need all of those cameras. Like,
you
for
don't
what?
you
You
don't
four,
you don't
four different
necessarily need it.
angles of my messy office.
You see, that's one thing that we're not used to seeing. But again, having 4 cameras shouldn't be, purchased just because you want to say have 4 cameras. It needs to make sense. Why would you have multiple cameras? What's the purpose of having multiple cameras, right? What are you trying to do? Maybe you're trying to do some product unboxing, just like you would do during a live. Then maybe you need more than one camera because of course you have the main camera, you have another one, which you can still do that with a webcam if you don't have enough income and upgrade later. Again, what is the purpose? Don't just say I have 2, 3 cameras, or don't just show multiple angles just for the sake of showing multiple angles. Your studio
Yes.
needs to have a proper setup for that. If you don't, then one setup, which is what, like right now looking straight, that just like Doc and I, that's a thumbnail right there, right? Just straight that could be the best angle possible. And by you adding another angle that is not lit properly, is not playing properly, could degrade the quality of your visuals. And
Well,
that's another reason.
again, I had to make sure we cover this point because I didn't want to hear people complain about like they don't have the income. Like, there's very few people with 2 hands and 2 feet that can't go out and get more income. I mean, there's just I don't know. Like, I just can't stand it. Like, oh, I really want to do this. Okay, how bad do you want it then? Like, how bad do you want it? Like, are you willing to take that job at Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, Pizza Hut? Are you willing to DoorDash, Uber, Lyft? Are you willing to cut some grass, babysit, wipe some butts, like do whatever you got? Nah, you ain't willing to do that. Then not. You guess you didn't want it. Half of the people that say that can go in their garage right now and comb a whole heap of things that they need to sell anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you could get pretty much everything you want right now by just going and selling some stuff.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that, again, in certain part of the world, right? We're in the United States here. Here in the United States, there's a lot of opportunities. Like you just said, you can do so much, right? You can drive, you can go do, deliveries, Walmart, anything you need to do in order to get that extra money and invest into the equipment.
If
Now,
you okay, listen. Look,
I
if you
like
have
what,
the money for the computer and for the eCam,
Yep.
then you're already in a place that has the resources. So the rest of it is
Absolutely.
just whack.
That's true.
Right. If
Hey,
you're in a place where you got to stream from your phone, then all of the rest of this gear is mute because all you need is a phone and your built-in headphones. So you I think people like to do that to make themselves feel like they're being all inclusive, but even then they're lying. Because if the person has a computer and they're able to go on Facebook to say why they can't, they already have the biggest parts of it covered. They got the computer, they got the connection. Where I hear it the most, and this cracks me up, I hear the church say, "Oh, but we're small church, we can't afford that." Blah blah. How many people you got in your church? 300. Tell everybody you need $3 a piece. What? Tell everybody in your church you need $3 a piece. Even the poorest folks can scratch $3. Why we need 300? Because three of them $3 for everybody in your joint just got you an M1 Mac Mini, 16 gig too. I went up. Okay, so
yep.
now your stream is covered. Now what? I'm gonna
Yep.
now what people till they want to hit me because as a drill sergeant, I'm trained to do that. I'm trained to get you past all of your idiotic excuses as to why you cannot climb that hill and save your buddy so that you can send him home to his family instead of let him get killed.
Very true.
So
Hey, folks.
the things that people overwhelming and all of that, I don't do any of those dumb words. Overwhelming to me was getting shot at every day for a year and a half. So I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Again, guys, we are not attacking you. We're simply
I am.
speaking the truth. No, you're
No,
not. I know you.
JP, I am. I am.
No,
Because
you're being
people need
honest.
to
You're just
hear
being
it, bro.
straightforward with them.
I'm being honest. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I'm saying. Yeah,
if
I know you.
if you
You're just
take
being
it that
straightforward.
way, if you take it that way, then you're not ready to be a streamer anyway. Because trust me, you're gonna get it. I get all kinds of dumb things said to me. You see the comments that I delete from Mrs. Diana Stream from the idiot things people say? Like if you're not ready to hear this, you're probably not even ready to stream anyway.
Yeah,
Because
and
the internet is full of trolls.
I like what she said. FH Umpire. She said you need to stream to know what you need to stream. Right? If you don't
Get
do
him,
it,
Keely.
you don't
Get
know
him,
it.
Keely.
If you don't
Yes.
try to go live, then you still do not know what you will need. Again, what I will need, what Doc will need, what somebody else will need is not what you will need. All right? Again, we have some foundational things. You need a computer. You need a camera,
Yeah.
whether it's a webcam, doesn't matter, the specifics. You need a software, an encoder, right, to go live. But everything else, unless you try, unless you actually start doing it, you're never going to know. Again, I'm going to show it again. It's really amazing what she said. You need to stream to know what you need to stream. Keely, I
Dude, I'm
appreciate you
telling
for
you,
that comment.
Keely,
Really, really
Keely
nice. And
is
Kevin,
the 100%
Kevin is saying
truth.
that multiple people in the same studio, but even one camera works for that too. Very true. Very true. Wide angle and different angles, you can use that. Now, talking about computers, you mentioned M1 right now. What are you using right now? Or what do you use on a daily basis to do your streams? And what are you thinking of upgrading to? I know we were talking about off stage, but share that with our viewers, please.
I use a combination of an M1 Mini and my iMac and a 16 gig, 16-inch MacBook Pro. And I'm fixing to go get an iMac purple, but they out of stock, so I gotta get red.
All right, so you said a combination of all that. Could you run down for the folks that may want to understand why? I mean, how? Actually, not why, but how? How you doing the combination? Can you elaborate on that?
I just changed my mind which one I want to use. Like, there's only one at a time. I'm not like doubling them up. If I have to do
Okay.
something really complicated that is going to take a lot of graphic resources, I will take either the Mini and cam link it into the iMac, or take the iMac and cam link it into the Mini. I kind of switch them back and forth just according to what I want to do. So it's not that they're stacked per se,
Okay.
but it is a better experience. Not even with a fully loaded, like this iMac right here is just ignorant. Like in theory, I can sell this sucker right now and buy 5 minis. But it there's times where like there's certain things you just don't want to stack, right? Like I wouldn't want to be streaming to you and also try to bring and show you, me editing Final Cut in 4K. Like if I'm trying to teach you a Final Cut class, in that situation, I put that on the mini and then have it running NDI into the iMac and then stream from the iMac. It's just a smarter thing to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you seen people where they have their car with like all the wood on Home Depot in the car and then the muffler's dragging. Bro, take 2 trips. Over not wanting to take 2 trips, you're about to ruin like a multi-$1,000 car because you didn't want to drive back and forth to Home Depot twice. That or get in an accident and kill somebody and then end up in jail or like lose all your stuff because you was lazy. So yeah, these are short. I did all of that. See, I'm old, dude. So like I did all the shortcuts that everybody thinks is working, and it didn't work. And so now I know better to even do stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it's just gonna destroy what you're doing better. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, it's just gonna destroy all your investment. It's just what it
JP,
is.
let me explain something to you real quick. You want to know why I'm like this? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being extremely factual, right? One, war, passed it, made it. Two, jumping out of airplane, shoot almost didn't open, almost splattered to the ground. Last minute, I was able to get my reserve chute open. I landed. So I almost died twice. And then 2007, 2008, New Year's Eve, I had a freaking stroke, like nearly died. And
Wow.
from that moment on, I was like, no more excuses, no more BS,
Wow.
live life to the fullest, do everything like today is your last day, because one of these days you finna be right. So again, I'm sorry about their feelings and oh, somebody hold my hand. No, the world doesn't work like that, bro. So it doesn't mean you can't have fun. I have absolute fun. Like I love my dude. I love the community, but I know a lot of these people have stories they want to tell. They have a mission. Somebody needs to hear what they have to say, and they're being blocked by either everybody cajoling them and telling it's okay. It's not okay. You need to do it, or they're just self-talking themselves out of doing it. Right? It's not even an actual barrier. You see what I mean? So that's why
Right.
I'm so hardcore about shaking all of those barriers, because most of those barriers are either somebody else put that on you or you're putting it on yourself. So if I can help people
True.
remove those, just if you had a filter, bro, you had a filter on your lens that somebody else done did to you. So let's get rid of it. And when you dig deep enough, 9 times out of 10, when you dig far enough back to figure out where did you get this I'm shy, show me in the DSM-5 where shy is listed. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not a thing. If you're not familiar with the DSM-5, is Google it, because this is what I mean by search up your knowledge, right? I mean, most people over the age of 25 should technically know what a DSM-5 is, because it's a common term. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, but some people didn't know that. They don't need to know that. No, you need to know everything. Like we're in a space right now where you have to study everything you could possibly study. You need to become super well-rounded because we're in a global environment now. We're not in small town Mayberry, USA anymore. We live in a global environment every day. So it behooves you to try to learn as much as possible. And one way to do that, watch other live streams so that you can become better at your live streams. I watch live streams about things I am not interested in. It does two things. It rounds out the knowledge, but I also get to see how they do their stream.
Yeah,
Don't watch
absolutely.
YouTube. Study YouTube. Study YouTube, fam. Don't just consume.
You
Learn.
need to be immersed in what you're trying to do or the industry you're in. Don't just do your stream and go to bed and come back and do your stream. If you really want to improve your ranger and improve everything you're doing, watch other people that are doing the similar things, or people that have been doing it before you. Know a lot of people. Watch, not just to support only, but watch to learn. And the way you learn is by watching things and seeing maybe the way they started their show, or the way they introduced a sponsor, or the way they're doing their rendering, or how they have updated something. And from there you're learning, you're adding a little something that can transform everything that you have. Now I have one more question for you, Doc, before we wrap it up. What about the folks, right, that always listen to somebody else, meaning another opinion telling them that, You don't need that. Why are you doing that? Or you should get that, all right? And then because of the opinion pressure, that's when they go spend money. Help me help those folks. What's your intake on that?
I'll flip that because there's people right now that are not spending money because of opinion pressure. There are people right now that, based off the needs that they just asked everyone in the community, they technically need to go out and get a like Sigma 16 and an A6400 and a good set of lights and a good microphone because they just told everybody what they need. And then somebody would come in and goes, "Oh no, you can do it with a used M50 and a lens you found at the swap meet, and you could use a oatmeal can as a microphone. You could save a lot of money." But you know the right answer. Even when somebody either direction gave you the opinion, you know the right answer. And if you don't know the right answer, then you technically haven't finished doing your research. So don't do anything. Don't do anything until you have done the research. Right? When you have done the research, you will know. The other thing is, so what, you make a mistake. You got, if you're buying a camera, B&H, Best Buy, Amazon, most places, you got 30 days to figure it out. So that's what I mean. When the box opens, boom, razor blade, open, pack, set it up, whoop, live into Ecamm. Hey, I just plugged this camera in 5 minutes ago. How does it look? Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? No, it doesn't work. You look like crap. Oh, okay. Box it up, send it back. Buy the next one.
Very true.
We have had people come in the stream who, okay, yeah, I know they had the ability to. I don't even like this kind of soft talk, but they bought both Canon M50 and the Sony, right? And then they did their streams and they did their comparisons. And they go, for what I need, I'll keep the Canon. Other people say, for what I need, I'll keep the Sony. Other people say, I ain't like neither one of these. I'm gonna go all the way down and get that, 8-year-old Panasonic that Adrian tells everyone to buy. And it worked for them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not that concerned with your picture, you just want a better picture than the one that came on your computer, by all means, buy a $400 Panasonic and keep your stream short, because it sucker cuts off in 29 minutes and 59 seconds. but like, you gotta do the research that matches you. And if you're going to copy someone, which is not a bad thing to do, but you still got to be willing to put in the work that they put in. So if you say, I'm going to copy Keith and I'm going to get 4 Sonys and a slider and all of the lights, then you better watch every single stream that Keith did and do every single thing else he did. Because I don't care what baker you are not making sourdough without flour. You just ain't doing it.
Very true. I appreciate your direct and honest answer. Very helpful. I appreciate that. So before we let you go, can you tell us where are the places? No, you're not.
I just not try to be factual. You know what?
Like
too many people want to hold everyone's hands and make them feel like it's easy. And it is easy to an extent, but it's also very hard. And I know it's a horrible analogy, but now that I've discussed it and figured it out, I'm going to keep using it. Streaming is just like becoming a parent. It's very easy to do. It's also very hard to do. And it can be the most time. It can be the most rewarding thing you ever do. Yeah.
Right. It's a full-time investment. You cannot say, I've learned everything I need to learn, and that's it. It's ongoing, right? Technology never stops improving. Technology is always evolving. There's always going to be an update to the application. You need to understand why there's an update. What are the new features? How can I use those things to improve my life and make my life better? There's a reason why there have been an update. Or you're having an issue. Well, guess what? Well, there's a solution for that. You have to keep learning. It is an ongoing thing.
Even
just
the
like you
people
said,
who try not to learn something new every day, whether they know it or not. Even the people that telling that lie, I don't need to learn nothing else. I'm good. You learn stuff every single day, whether you like it or not. We all learned about virology last year for a little bit. We all learned that life was short last year. We all learned that your job could be poofed in an instant last year. We learned a lot. So, hey, you got it's all choices, man. It's really all choices. It's choices as to how you choose to like receive what's given to you or thrown at you. Either or.
Yep. How can people find you, Doc? Where are the best places for them to connect with you and continue the conversation?
Um Well, all over the place. My normal spot is Doc Rock on just about anything. Instagram, YouTube, FaceSpace, like all of the above. I'm Doc Rock everywhere. You can find me doing Let's Get Live at Let's Get Live. That's our company where we help people, basically just get their educational resources when it comes to live streaming. And then as a community manager for Ecamm, I am everywhere Ecamm is because it's my job. I gotta be there. So that's it's all of the things, man. Like I really yeah, I just really appreciate everyone, for showing up and being willing to listen. And I know it sounded rough, but I'm actually a teddy bear, but I just, you know what, I just can't see people like sitting on their potential because other people are trying to stop them. You know what I
And I'm
mean?
gonna
I
I'm gonna close that with one thing.
Yeah.
Other people cannot believe more into you than you.
Thank you.
That's the reason why
100%.
Doc is speaking like that. And again, for those of you who don't know, I love Doc so much. That's why I said he's not mean. If you know him personally, you'll understand he's not. But he is honest and he is direct, simple, right? Get the
JP,
honest
you know that
truth.
half full, half empty? Are you a half full or a half empty guy?
Yep.
No, I'm saying the question. Are you a half full? Is this bottle half full or is this bottle half empty?
That's half full.
No, to me it's always full. It can't
He's
be
always
half.
full,
It
yeah.
can't be. It's always full because the other half is air. See, so I'm that person. I'm the other half is air person because that's the reality. Like, yeah, that's it. Neither pie
Yep.
in the sky nor like doom and gloom. I like to just ride gray.
Hey, I told you guys at the beginning that he goes against the grain to help you
Yeah,
think outside the box. And that
yeah.
is exactly what we need in this digital age. Doc, I want to thank you for even taking the time to come on the show. It was
Thank you,
awesome.
bro.
We've learned a lot from you, man. Thanks a lot.
Very, very well done, sir. You are just massively killing it in this space, and I really appreciate watching you, grow and just become better, and it's amazing. So yes,
Appreciate it. And looking forward to getting you up here in the future as well. So many awesome
thank
things
you.
that we'll be doing together. Stay behind scenes, Doc. As I close,
All right,
for those of you who are new folks, I want to thank you again for stopping by the Content Creators University. If you want more, you can go to the website contentcreatorsuniversity.com, connect, sign up, register, and let's keep this conversation going. Like I said, this universe, live stream content creation, is an ongoing university, ongoing lessons. You never stop learning. So let's keep growing together. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you're watching this as a replay, put a comment in the comment section below. Let me know, what did you take away from this video? Like it if you appreciate it. Share it with a family member. Subscribe. And I'll see you next time for another video. You be safe like I always say. Shalom. See you next time. Bye-bye.